A good evening to you. How are we doing, friends? How are we all doing today? Gonna be playing a little bit of Blood Hunt. So I was thinking about doing some Blood Hunt, maybe a little bit of just chatting, and oh, and yeah, go off from there and see what we can do. Hasn't really been much of anything, really. Although I do have a couple of new things that we have that I have in store for you guys. Is it not available? So yeah, there are some couple games that I'm not gonna say what they are. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna let you guys find out what it is later on today. But I'll give you a hint as to what these two games are. Okay, one of them has to do with crabs. Yes, crabs, crustaceans. Money. And the other one is a horror game. Or yeah. I'm not gonna go out of my way to tell you guys what they are. I'm just gonna let you, like I said, I'm gonna let you guys figure it out by yourselves. Granted, I could do the thing where I have my library up and then I go through the game like that and everything, but I'm figuring like, nah, I'll probably have it all set up and ready to go, then I'll stream. I feel like then it'd be a much better surprise, I want to say. At least I think it would be a better surprise. I don't know. I also know that there's like a lot of streamers out there that like to they like to do this whole thing where they, you know, well, I do it every now and then, which I'm trying not to do anymore because I think it's kind of ridiculous. But, you know, there's people out there that go live, or they hit the go live button, right? They hit go live, and they put on a screen for the pre-stream, right? Before the stream actually starts. And usually they let it go for, I don't know how long. Like half an hour or so, 15 minutes. It really just depends. But more or less, it's like, you know, like they do that. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. Motherfucker. It's... So yeah, what was I saying? What was I saying? I'm trying to see, I'm not trying to see. I should get more people to play this game too, Blood Hunt. It's really fun. I don't know why there aren't many people that are playing this game. But then again, there's probably a plethora of reasons as to why people aren't playing. But I feel like with the small team base that Shark Mob has had, I feel like they've done a pretty good job of making a really, really fun game. Like I said, me personally. Oh, there's someone up here. Nice. The fourth Hokage, sir. Where did you go? There's somebody up here. Unless I'm just tripping balls. Yeah, so like I was saying, there's people out there that they like to, you know, they hit go live, and you know, they do that, and then they put it on like a, I guess you can call it a BRB screen kind of thing, but it's more or less like a you know, it's like a pre-stream screen that they put it on. And then they're usually playing music, talking about random stuff beforehand, and blah, blah, blah. Then they go to the actual gameplay, and what the actual gameplay, quote-unquote, consists of is them, you know, still going through, like, opening up Steam, going through their library, selecting the game, making sure the game is running, and then after that, and only after that, they decide to switch it to the, like gameplay screen, and then, and then the gameplay consists of like maybe an hour or two of actual gameplay, and then after that, it's like, fuck. And then after that, it's like, you know, back to a, oh no. So then after that hour to hour and a half of just gameplay, right? Then they decide, okay, it's time for a 15-minute break. That 15-minute turns into an hour. And which is something that I am guilty of doing myself. I'm not saying that, I mean, not the pre-stream thing, but the whole going on break. It's because when I go on break, you know, I usually try to just do a couple things here and there and then come back. But some things end up popping up, unfortunately. But for some people, they'll go, right? So it'll be like I said, so it'll be an hour, about an hour or so of the pre-stream. So this isn't even gameplay that you're watching. This is just that, like, it's like a loading screen with a bunch of title cards and stuff that, you know, that phase in every now and then. So there's that, and then there's like the hour to an hour and a half of gameplay, and then they go on a BRB screen for an hour to an hour and a half. And then after that's done, you know, then after all that, they finally come back, and then it's maybe an hour or two of gameplay, and then it's the ending screen. So in reality, all you're really watching is, so in reality, all you're really watching is about what? And, ow. Yeah, I want to say it's like about an hour. No, not even an hour. It's about 2 to 3 hours of gameplay, and then after that, it's just like loading screens and BRB screens and shit. And you want to know what the saddest part is? Is that during this whole time that they're playing a game, they are constantly checking over their chat screen. Like, it's gotten to the point where, well, I mean, it's been pretty ridiculous. And the person that I'm talking about, by the way, is Darkside Phil, aka DSP. So the reason I mentioned this whole like little mini rant to begin with is because I've been seeing a lot of other streamers, a lot of small time streamers, sort of do the same thing, where they will go and, you know, they'll do the whole BRB screen, and then they'll go finally select the gameplay screen. After all that, you know, they finally get to the actual gameplay, but then it's only like an hour or 2 hours of gameplay. And then after that, it's like they go back to the same screen, and then they keep doing the same like rants and shit like that, you know? bitch. And you know, I've like I said, I've been guilty of doing that shit. I'm not gonna lie, I've been really, damn you, Harley Quinn. I've been really bad about that, and I'm putting an effort not to do that shit anymore because it's not fair to you guys to have to sit there, right? When you guys want to watch gameplay, when you guys want to hear me talk about stuff, and it can be about whatever. But DSP, Darkside Phil, absolutely loathes and hates when you talk about things that have absolutely nothing to do with the gameplay, right? So you have to either talk about him specifically or the gameplay. If you're not talking about him or the gameplay, you're not interacting. So you can't even be there and have a random discussion about something off topic because it upsets him to the point where he's like, no, what does this have to do with gameplay? And let's not forget the snorting. Oh god, the fucking snorting. This dude claims to have post-nasal drip, but it's so crazy because, you know, he claims to have this, but there's been interviews with this guy where he just sits there and you don't even hear a fucking peep. You don't even hear like a snort or a dribble or anything like that. A dribble. Or you don't hear anything like that from DSP. And it's just, you know, sometimes a lot of people are speculating that this shit that he does, the whole snorting thing, he only ever does it on streams. He doesn't do it any other time except when he's streaming. So maybe he just does it to continuously annoy his viewers. I get the feeling that he probably does. But my god. And then he also says that he also says that he can't get his post-nasal drip under control. And I'm just sitting here like thinking like, dude, do you know how many fucking products there are for this kind of shit? Like, do you not know how many products oh god, I'm gonna die. Like, do you not know how many products there are for helping with post-nasal drip? And he's like, oh, he'll come up with any excuse, any and every excuse in the fucking book to not use or to not like suppress his like snorting and shit. It's like, you know, you could do like saline drip, you could do like medication, stuff that you could just buy at the store. But like I said, he will go above and beyond to make sure that he does not have to do any of that. For one reason or another, I don't know why. He just really likes to snort on stream. People call him out on it, and he gets so fucking mad. He gets so, like, butthurt about this shit. It's unbelievable. So, like I said, I don't know why he does it. Maybe it's like, maybe he, you know, truth be told, maybe for all we know, maybe he has a snort fetish. You know, that could be it too. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised. You motherfucker. But it's like, yeah, could you imagine? Wow, you are terrible. You can't even kill me with a pistol, you're so bad. But yeah, like, this dude doesn't do any of that repulsive shit that he does on stream whenever you, like, give him... You know, if you were, like, to interview him or whatever, I was very surprised to see that he was not, like, snorting or doing any of that stupid shit that he always does on stream. And I'm really surprised that nobody bothered to mention, like, nobody even mentioned that at all. Like, during the, what was that thing called? I think it's called, like, the Side Scrollers podcast or something. I don't remember the name. I don't remember the actual name of it. But during that time, you know, during that whole interview, I don't think I ever heard him snort once. I don't even know if I want to subject myself to watching all that shit all over again. Or to watching that shit. God damn it, dude. Of course. Of course. And so... So yeah, not only are you dealing with he likes to call himself like content, like a content. not only are you dealing with a streamer, he's a streamer, not a content creator. The content that he creates is some of the most asinine, like, boring shit you could ever fucking imagine. And I know that I make some boring content myself. I know that some of my shit can be very boring, but hey, at least I try to make it a little entertaining, you know? So yeah, he has some of the most, like I said, some of the most asinine and boring ass content that you could ever think of. It's nothing more than, oh man. So how do I describe DSP's videos? So he does this thing where he likes to stream and record at the same time, right? So, oh god, I'm starting to sound like DSP whenever I say this shit, because he has a tendency to say right, okay, all right, with me so far, things like that. He likes to assure his audience that they're listening. So his way of putting out videos is he streams and records them at the same time. And once those videos are done, once the recording is done, once that is done, because I believe he stops the recording at a certain time and then he just continues on the live stream after that. In none of those, in any of those videos that you see of Darkside Phil, will you see the segments where he continuously begs for support and engagement. What do I mean by support? I don't mean, being there, watching, talking about stuff, which a lot of other people do, a lot of other viewers like to do. But Darkside Phil specifically, no, you have to talk about him. Solely him. Him or the gameplay. If it's not about either him or the gameplay, you're derailing the stream, whatever the fuck that means. So he goes from doing that to, so it's, having the rule of not being able to talk about anything else but him or the game, lest you're, derailing the stream. And to go back to what I was saying, his form of support is literally getting people to donate money to him via e-begging. He says, hey guys, contributions right now are pretty low, so if you guys could step it up, you guys could, we'd love to hit the tier goal, our tips goal, or whatever the fuck. It's like, bro, like, there's just so many things wrong with Darkside Phil. It's unbelievable, and it gets worse and worse every year. Same thing with Wings, same thing with LTG. But at least I feel like LTG has a little bit of self-awareness, because because even though he is an asshole, even though he is a fucking moron, even though he is basically in the same tier as a level of intelligence as DSP and Wings and everybody else, at least he tries to make his streams a little bit more entertaining, sort of. At least there you could just talk amongst each other about stuff, but the second you give him advice or give a snide remark, you're immediately banned. But then again, I think you could be banned on LTG stream as well for pretty much anything. That goes to say with, like, everybody else too. Not only is it just LTG, but it's also Wings and DSP. Actually, you know what? Never mind. Forget what I said about LTG keeping his streams entertaining. Well, actually, no. They are entertaining to a point. They're entertaining only when he gets really pissed or really mad and he just goes on a tirade and starts making up these fantasies in his head about how the person who is saying shit is madly in love with him and wants to suck him off or something like that. I don't know. I get the feeling that, actually, no, I'm pretty sure everybody's in. Eh? I was like, is that cat movie? No. No, fuck that. So, and the funny thing is, going back to LTG making up these crazy ass stories, and the funny thing is that he can make these stories up, on the fly, which is pretty impressive given the fact that he has a lot of material to work with, but more or less, LTG stories will usually end up with him, like, fucking or something like that. You know, something along the lines of that. God damn. Are you fucking kidding me? How? What? I died by that stupid ass sword? Dude. What? What? And it was it was full SMGs. Oh, that is so dumb. That is fucking stupid. Okay, we're gonna have to go back and get our shit. So, LTG, you know, he does the same thing. But at least he can sort of make his streams entertaining in a way to where it's like, oh my god. It was the same person. I got killed by fucking electric. So, at least LTG sort of makes his streams entertaining, I suppose, but it's mostly him rage quitting and bitching, and then rage quitting and more bitching, and then coming up with the crazy ass fantasy of how either he fucked you, either he, you know, fucked your mom, or something to do with what he calls Matrix juice, I guess. Something like that, but even LTG says that he is virtually a gay man. And then he also says that it's time for men, so take it as you will.
I wish you a good evening.
Thank you, Custos. You are a very kind individual. So, of course we all know our beloved gentleman Wings. Sasquatch? What? Sasquatch. Of course we know our beloved gentleman Wings. And how he's a train wreck all on his own. With Wings, it's like, imagine given every opportunity, every chance to be able to not only grow your channel, because isn't that what he wants to be as a content creator? But imagine if he actually went through with the trip, and if he recorded it and all of his escapades and everything like that, he would have gotten a lot more people to follow him for the right reasons. But because he is a narcissistic asshole that only cares about himself, only ever thinks about himself, and will only ever think about himself. And I say this because he doesn't give a fuck about his wife. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody else but himself. He's just a narcissistic individual. That's just who Wings is. And he doesn't like to admit it, but he is. And he will try to come up with every excuse in the book to make that 62 IQ work overtime so he can prove to you that he is not a narcissist, but he actually is. You know, he's burned so many bridges with people, and it's for all the wrong reasons too. So he goes and does all that, and what is it? So I'm just trying to collect my thoughts here. Thoughts? Give me your thoughts. Calling all my thoughts right now. Both mentally and physically now. So, there was a time where Wings and FPS Russia and Woody, I think Woody's gamer tag, where they were supposed to go on this camping trip. I would believe it was a 3 to 4 day camping trip. And everything was set to go. Kyle and Woody were, I believe, 9 hours into. They were 9 hours into their trip, and so, with I believe 1 hour or so, Kyle decides to ring up Wings, give him a little phone call, be like, "Hey, yo, Wings, when are you going to be coming over, so we can start our camping trip, huh?" And Wings, without giving it a much of thought, just pretty much blatantly says, "Oh, I'm not going." Yeah. So imagine having this trip, having this whole camping trip and everything, going as far as to getting all the equipment ready, getting everything ready, and they weren't experts in, outdoor survival and stuff like that. They were just going to be roughing it up and doing what they can do in those 3 to 4 days. Now, you know, they have had this planned for a good couple of months, and Wings didn't even go as far as to give them a heads up before any of this shit, before any of that at all. He was just like, "Hey, uh, fuck, god damn it, dude." Oops. And so, yeah, imagine preparing months, a good couple of months, for this whole trip and everything, and you wait until an hour after they're 9 hours into the whole fucking thing, into the whole trip. You wait until they call you to ask you where you are, and you just straight up tell them that you're not going, and they ask you why. And then he was like, "Oh, well, I'll probably end up hindering you guys. I don't really have much survival skills. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't blah, blah, blah." He was coming up with every single excuse you can think of in order to make sure that he would not go. Why? Because that's who Wings is. That just shows you the kind of individual that he is. Point blank, just like, plain and simple. And, he's just had a tendency to constantly do this a lot. So it's gotten to a point where not only did he start doing that to, not only did he do that, and he burned the bridge when he did that. They had a whole podcast and everything going on, and they even went as far as to announce the whole podcast, or not to announce the podcast, but to announce to everyone, about. Damn it, dude. Fuck. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm so dead. I'm getting this shiny because I'm talking about other shit. A slippery tiger. Damn you. Damn you, slippery tiger. You got me pretty good. You remind me of Bill. Bill Williamson. Yeah, he was a lousy shot too. So they had a whole podcast and everything going on, and it was going very, very well. And that's a whole nother shit show because Wings likes to say that all the shit talking that he did, all that nasty stuff that he said, all those jokes that he made about kids during that podcast was him saying it for quote unquote shock jock value, which is a bullshit lie. He even not made up, but he even talked about the story of him killing a cat under a bucket, and he left it there because he's a fucking retard.
Good morning.
He's an idiot. He's a moron. He has low IQ. I don't know how else you want me to say it. He is not a smart individual. He is also a narcissistic individual. He's a low IQ, narcissistic individual. And that's just who Wings is. He'll never admit it, of course, because he never wants to admit his wrongdoings. He will find every reason to pin himself as the victim in every situation that you can throw at him. Right? Not only that, But Wings also likes to go around and try to give money advice to people, and this is from somebody who ended up like uh, not gifting, but ended up, I guess, pretty much investing around what $80,000 into the girl that he was with, but it was more for like their kids and stuff, I guess. I mean, I don't really know the exact details of that. All I know is that he was working a really good job. All right, so get this, right? Wings was working a very, very good job at a place that he was at, some kind of, I believe it was like a glass making company or some shit. He was making very good money, very good money. He ends up getting fired. What does he do? He doesn't try looking for another job or another place that could use the skills that he currently has. He ends up falling back towards YouTube. And he ends up just doing YouTube instead. And then he goes on Twitch. His Twitch gets destroyed because of a lot of shit. So now he's back on YouTube. And he likes to blame the trolls for his work gap. And I believe it's been about what 12 like 12 15 years now, I think. And he's been without a job. But now he likes to say, "Oh, I have a bad knee. I can't work anymore." He'll say he has a bad knee. He likes to say that he has a bad knee now, right? So, and then he'll say that he can't walk that well because he's a fat man. And it's funny because throughout the whole time, throughout all of these streams, people have been giving him advice on things that he could slowly do to improve his health. He tried walking. Well, with the whole premise of you have to pay him first in order for him to walk a mile. Like, imagine that. Imagine stooping that fucking low in your life that you have to resort to having people pay you for you to walk. Like, how fucking sad is that, dude? That is so goddamn sad. So, it worked for a little while, I guess, because people actually did pay him to walk, and he did walk for a good while, and then suddenly all that stopped. Maybe he got really tired of it, or just bored of it, or something. I don't fucking know. So there's that. You know, that lasted for a little bit, and then that was it. Whatever happened after that, we don't know, but it's probably because, like, he was scamming people from that too, I guess. So there was that whole little saga right there. Then the infamous one where he goes on stream and he cries to people, and the waterworks start coming in and everything, and he's making himself seem like the most, like, how could this happen to me? All I wanted to do is this, and this, and blah, blah, blah. And so he goes to just throw in a huge ass pity party for this, surgery that he wanted so goddamn bad, because if he didn't get it, in his words, he was gonna die alone. And he didn't want that. I knew that. Gotcha. But imagine that, right? Okay, so just wrap your head around this little thought. Throughout all of those years that Wings was streaming, he couldn't have stopped for, or whatever. During his free time, he could have went out for a walk. But instead, he had to resort to having people pay him so he can go out to walk a mile. And then that didn't work because you weren't getting the results fast enough. So then, what is his next big brain move? So his next big brain move is to go and cry to his people on stream about how, how sad and lonely he is and all this other shit, and how he just can't take it anymore, and how, all he wanted to do at the very end was get this surgery to help him get better and to help him do better, and pretty much everything that you can think of, right? In order to gaslight people, in order to tug at their feelings, in order to play with their emotions. He's crying and everything. He's, you know, like, he's just going all the way. And it fucking works. It fucking works, but not in the way that you'd expect it to. See, he was supposed to go and get a surgery done in the States, but he chose, of course, the cheaper option and decided to go get it done in Tijuana, Mexico. Yeah, but it gets even better. So not only did he went through with the surgery and everything like he promised, and not only did he get it in a place that he also lied about, which is a lot cheaper for him to get it done over there. So people were also asking about where that all that extra money went, because they figured out exactly how much the whole procedure was. That they were like, hey, we noticed that you had some extra money, some extra money that we gave you left over, and we were wondering, what did you put it towards? Like, what did you do with it? And I feel like it should be, I feel like it is right for people to know, especially when it comes to streaming and such, what it is that your money goes towards, right? Because it's like it's like buying product in a way. Like, you're donating for a reason, or you're giving your money to this individual for a good reason. And of course, I feel like it's right for the people, the individuals, to know what exactly it is that their money is going towards. What is it that it's contributing to? How will it improve the stream? How will it improve the quality of things? Quality of life when we're on the stream? I think that's fair. I think that's a totally fair thing to ask. So, people were asking him and everything, and they were curious as to what was going on and all this other stuff. And then they find out that after the surgery was well, and it was done and everything, and it was a success, and he goes back to eating the same shitty food that he was eating at the very beginning that got him there in the first place. So Wings, with his big brain, with his big IQ, his 62 IQ, really thought that all he had to do was get the surgery and not have to do much of anything else. That he could go back to eating the same foods, the same shitty lifestyle that he had, and that, he would be in a much better position than he was. He did look a little skinnier for a while, yeah, but this dude never really, like, yeah, he never really, like, um, he never really thought that he had to put any kind of effort into losing weight or anything like that. Fuck, dude. Goddamn. So he really thought that once the surgery is done, you don't have to do anything. You just lose all that weight. And that is just, oh god, that is such a, it is a really bad mindset to have, and a really small one at that too. To think that you can go back to eating the same exact processed shit that got you that fat in the first place after you got a surgery that basically allows you to, or like, not expands, but basically, shrinks your stomach. And this is also, this is Wings we're talking about. We're talking about the guy who doesn't do anything to change his lifestyle for the better, who comes up with every excuse in the book in order to make himself the victim so people feel sorry for him, who basically puts in zero effort, but also in the same breath likes to complain and likes to boast about how he has zero bitch in his blood, according to him. But this is the exact same guy who ditched his friends an hour before they were supposed to go on this big camping trip. And he could have he could have been recording and stuff for a good while. He could have made some content out of that. And what would that have done? That would have brought more attention to his channel. That would have brought more people to him for the right reasons. Because they're like, oh my god, hey, that's Wings. He's actually, getting out of the house, actually doing stuff, being more active. That's the kind of Wings that we want to see. That's entertaining to us. That's really good content right there. And some people would agree. I think it would have been a very good idea for him to, like, I hate to say it, but actually, no, I'm not going to use that word. I think it would have been a great idea for him to capture that, record it and everything and do all that kind of stuff. I think that would have been really cool. He would have made a lot more people, he would have made people like him a lot more if he actually went through with that and did that. But people would like him for the right reasons, not all the wrong reasons. They would actually want to watch his content. But he chose to burn that bridge. He chose to, like I said, after that whole fiasco, Kyle and Woody just said, you know what, fuck all that, dude. Especially Kyle, I think. I think Kyle was the one that took it harder than anybody else. But he was basically like, fuck that. You're out of the podcast. We don't want you anymore. You're out of here. And then after Wings got kicked out of the podcast, that's when the PKA, the what's it called, the podcast and everything started to get more traction, started to get more popular, started to get, they started to actually make money out of it. And that's what pissed off Wings more than anything, was the fact that he did not get any of that money at all. Because that's what, excuse me. Well, that's all what Wings really cares about, is money at the end of the day. Like I said, Wings is the kind of dude that only gives a shit about himself. Only himself. And, yeah, it's a fucking shit show with Wings Redemption, too. Because he burned those bridges with his friends, with his close friends there. He burnt those bridges, right? And then I believe at one point he also got a personal trainer. He burned the bridge with that dude, too. He basically burns any bridge that he forms with people because, nobody wants to associate with a narcissist. I sure as hell wouldn't want it. I don't think anybody in their right mind would want to. Give me your blood! Oh, delicious. And now I leave. So there's wings, of course. And then, let's see. Yeah, that's another thing too. Imagine, you know, having to scam your fans for something that you know that you just want as a get out of jail card or whatever, because you really think that in your mind you don't have to put any effort into exercise or eating healthier or changing your habits, anything like that. Oh, I'm starting to get hungry. I should make myself something to eat. And then, of course, you have LTG, you have King Cobra, which is another interesting specimen here in the lolcow universe. King Cobra, man, it's crazy to see how he started off to where he is now. It's just, yeah, I can't really wrap my head around that one.
Salutations.
It's like going from having dreams and aspirations of wanting to do something, putting in the effort into doing that, and then going to from that to like what starting off with sniffing cologne to get you high, then smoking weed, then smoking K2 spice, which is the absolute, well, it's one of the worst things that you could ever smoke because it could fuck you up really bad. And I'm honestly surprised that I was okay when I did it. I was young and I was stupid and I didn't even think about it back then. It was only 2 hits of that shit that I took, but even then it was, I really don't even want to remember that. Nothing really bad happened, but it was just like, man, I could have been one of those people that just got completely fucked with K2. Then you go from smoking K2 spice to sniffing air duster, huffing air duster. Sorry, not sniffing, huffing air duster, which I believe completely fucked up his brain more than he thought. To now consuming copious amounts of alcohol to get through the day. To the point where he is like $300 or so in the negative. I want to say pretty much every day. He has to get, he gets on live stream and basically tells his fans $400 to get me out of the negative and for you guys to have a drinking stream. Like, imagine giving him 400 fucking dollars so he can do that shit. Oh man, talk about enabling behavior. Not an alcoholic, by the way. So now, because Josh, or I'm sorry, King Cobra is so desperate for a drop of booze. Not only does he try to find a way to make homemade booze at home, but he does it in the completely wrong way. He doesn't even use like fresh oranges or any fruits, any actual like fruits. With he uses like Tampico citrus blend, which isn't even juice. It's like a punch or some shit. Hold on. Say, hold on. What was it? Look this up. So, yeah, let's look this up. Can you use Tampico to make hooch or prison. Oh god, okay. So, basically, the easiest way to make homemade prison wine or hooch is a gallon of hot water with sugar, and then you put in, you mix in the remaining gallon of water or sugar water, uh, which you put in your yeast, and then you add in your fruits. So it's just basically fruit, water, and yeast and sugar. That's it. But because of all the preservatives in Tampico juice, you can't get any of that proper fermentation that you're looking for. So all King Cobra is really doing with all that shit, which he's doing completely wrong, by the way. He has no idea what he's doing. Is just making a yeasty Tampico concoction drink. That's all he's doing. Like, imagine that. And like he's letting, like, he thinks he's actually fermenting it, and he's like burping it, doing all this shit, thinking that he's gonna get a really good product, but he's just getting garbage in the end. It's so bad. It's literally just Tampico. Tampico citrus blend. Is that a juice? I never realized. It's not a juice. How? What? Yeah, it's it's not gonna ferment properly, so he's just making a disgusting. Yeah. Let's see. My first 6 months. Let me see. Where is it? Tampico juice would not be my first choice. I'd be afraid of the preservatives and the high fructose corn syrup. Alright, so yeah, Tampico Tampico hooch. I would not recommend it. I feel like if I were to go through the traditional route of making my own wine or that kind of stuff, I would just use actual fruit instead of preservative kind of shit. But that's just me, personally. Oh man, big fat. Damn. Optimize the second road specs down here. Let's see one. Okay. Bro, can you fuck up? swear to God, there's like motherfuckers coming at me left and right. Like, fuck off, dude. I thought this was, solos, not like, piece of shit. Gotcha. What? What? That is a baloney. I'll be right back.
Welcome back.
It looks like Keanu Reeves is finally speaking out about how Hollywood elites like Oprah and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are trying to use the Maui fires to scam people out of donation money, and you're not going to believe what he has to say.
Alright, we're back. So yeah, that's basically what I was talking about and referring to is, you know, these guys were given every opportunity, every chance to, just be better. But they chose not to. They chose to just toss it all away and throw it in the garbage. And under that same breath, they still have the audacity to cry and bitch and complain how unfair everything is for them. How they're so miserable and how they wish things could be better and things like that. It's like, bro, you've had so many chances to turn your shit around, but you just chose to fuck it all up. So that's all you.
убежище.
Alright. My first time playing this. How the fuck do you play Crab Champions? Alright, so far so good. The auto rifle. Arcane one. Oh. You unlock these weapons? Damn! Fuck it, let's go too much. But there's no. Where am I supposed to go? There's no quick play? What? Well, let's see what this is. It's like bullets. Greed upgrades. Money! Money! Stay the hell away from me, my boy! Oh, more hollow. More crystals dropping in the enemies, we lose some mass. What's up, Zen? Random chest. Let's do parkour, baby. Yeah, baby. No! Money! Yeah. Ah, sure. ¿Dónde? ¿A las 2:30? Oh, no. A las... Sí, a las 2:30. 2:30. Y ya. ¿Ya?